capital stack, and specifically she's going to focus on existing product and really on the multifamily side. And she'll talk about the couple different kinds of debt we see in multifamily, both agency and non-agency debt. So with that, Tabitha, take it away. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I'm Tabitha. I'm in the RREAF legal department, and I primarily help out in all different aspects of the transaction, but mostly in the lending side. And so I'm going to present on the anatomy of a multifamily loan, and I'll focus on the process documents and then the closing. This is the current multifamily debt market. It's provided from Fannie Mae, which is one of the desk lenders in the U.S. market. And so this is kind of like over time, this is how much lending is going out in the market for multifamily. You can see that a lot of lending is happening right now. And so the primary sources that we get multifamily debt from are Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Those are the big lenders. And that's mostly who we work with here at RREAF. And then there's also HUD. We don't primarily focus with HUD. They have a lot more underwriting requirements than Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. So if we do work with HUD, there's a reason that we're working with HUD. And then we also have bridge lenders. And so I'm gonna talk about the process of multifamily lending. I'll talk about the documents that we'll see, and then also closing. So in the process, you've heard from Graham already about the acquisition process and kind of what they do in sourcing the deal. And once it gets to legal, it's already we've decided we are going to purchase this property. And they've also, then capital markets has sourced the debt. So they work with lenders, and there's lenders that will see the same people over and over again, and which makes it easier because then we know what to expect. And then the lender will provide requirements to RREAF and the title company. So they'll provide us with different things that they need to start producing the documents and letting us know kind of what we're needing to do next. So the documents generally, a note, a loan agreement, a mortgage deed of trust, a certificate of borrower, an assignment of management agreement, a guarantee agreement, and UCC filing statements, financing statements. So that's generally a lot of the different documents, but today we're just gonna focus on the three main governing documents in multifamily loan. And so the primary source documents that asset managers will look at are the promissory note, the loan agreement, and then the security instrument. So those are the three main source documents that are needed for all aspects of RREAF departments. They'll need to look at those documents and kind of roughly know what those documents say or do. So the first document is a promissory note. Basically, it's the money. So it is the key terms to look for in the note are the borrower, the loan amount, the interest rate, the maturity date. There are the key terms in the note that you can look at and you'll know like this is what the deal is. The promissory note, they're out on the table. They're usually the shortest document in the loan package. So if anybody wants to take a quick look at those. Then the second document that will govern the deal, that is the longest document. So the note, usually the shortest, the loan agreement will be the longest, and that will tell you basically anything you need to know about the loan and how it is governed. And so if you're like, oh, what happens if this happens? Maybe I should go to the loan agreement and kind of like generally where should I look? And that will tell you a lot about the loan or the relationship with the lender. And so some of the things, it'll again have the loan amount. It'll tell you how the loan is dispersed, how it's repaid, how it's administered. So it'll tell you who the lender is, who you should be working with generally, and it will also specify some of the main terms. And also then it'll provide assurances and warranties from the borrower, obligations and restrictions, including events of immediate repayment. It'll also have the choice of law in that agreement. So it'll have a lot of different things that are very important to the loan. And but generally with the Fannie Mae lenders that we have, they have a wonderful summary page that any asset manager or anybody that needs to know can look at that page, and it'll tell them a lot. So then the last most important document is the security instrument. So that is like the most important document to the lender because it basically grants the security interest in the property, and it puts everybody on notice that they are the lender. So the security instrument is filed of record in the county in which the property is located. It will have granting language of exactly what the lender's getting. So it'll say, I have rights in the land, I have rights in the fixtures, so that would be like whatever's attached to the property or building or structure. And then it'll say, I have rights in leases, the leases that are tenants, between the tenants and the property or the multifamily complex. And then rents. So the lender will have rights in any rents that the borrower may receive or our entity, our multifamily entity. It will also have some representations and warranties in that document. And then it will also have like terms of foreclosure. So in the event that the borrower or the multifamily complex is not able to make payment, it will have terms in there for how that process works. And so those were the three main documents: the promissory note, the loan agreement, and the security instrument. So those are the three main documents that you should be aware of and that are important to the lender and to the borrower. And then, so once we've been engaged through acquisitions and it's already been underwritten, and then we've gone through the documents, and each lender, whether that be HUD, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac will have their own like set of documents. They'll have their own set of like things that they are looking for or want to protect. But generally, it's the promissory note, loan agreement, and security instrument that are the most important that you'll always see and that protect the lender. So then at closing, you'll get all the documents executed once they're agreed upon between the parties, between the lender and the borrower, the multifamily complex. Then the lender countersigns those documents, and the lender confirms all outstanding items have been provided. So there's some, there might be just little nuances that the lender is looking for, whether that be with title or with the management company. It could be just a lot of different things that come up. And then the lender wires money and the loan is funded and closed. And then it goes into the process of asset management. And asset managers will then like work with lenders. But this is generally like the acquisition side of acquiring and multifamily loan.